Hello everyone. Yeah, Chris the Suffolk record collector, back again with another video. Got some great stuff here. It's mainly sort of late 60s, early 70s stuff. Got about 8 or 9 albums to show, stuff that's made it into the collection. Some quite nice ones actually. Yeah, so the only way we find out is diving in. Right, first off, really pleased. Yeah, I class this as a scarce album today. Yeah, most definitely a scarce album. That's Tyrannosaurus Rex, Prophets, Seers and Sagers and Angels of the Ages. Yeah, this was released in '68. Obviously T-Rex's first album. It's on a nice flip back cover. This has got a nice like linen textured cover. It's released in '68. It come, which you don't see very often, you don't even see the record very often, but for it to come with its original lyric inner, yeah, and that cover is in lovely condition for '68. And obviously being just the first pressing, '68, it was released on Regal Zonophone, and that is in lovely condition. And I believe this is the much scarcer mono. Well, I know it's the mono version. I believe the mono version of this album is much scarcer, and I can honestly say that sounds absolutely fantastic. As I say, this is his first album. He was more folky on here than the T-Rex that we know from the '70s, but you can hear even in this, you know, it's just a natural progression for him. I really like this album. Yeah, it's a really good album. Track wise on here, you have side 1, Deborah Obed, Stacey Grove, Wind Quartets, Consuela, Trelawney Lawn, Anna Gill and the Mage, The Friends. Side 2, you've got Salamander Palaganda, A Wonderful Brown Skinned Man, Oh Harley, The Salting Banks, Eastern Spell, The Travelling Tradition, Juniper Suction, and Scenescoff Dynasty. Yeah, really good. Really pleased to find this. Now, I think this is quite a scarce thing today. I've seen it once or twice in the past over the last few years, but been trashed. So I obviously didn't get it, and I didn't pay a lot of money for this either, which is even better, because I think that can be quite a pricey album sometimes. It just depends, doesn't it, what you're looking. Right, next. Great album. I'd never actually ever owned this on vinyl. And when I saw this and saw the condition, I thought, wow, it's coming home with me, it's got out. That's Jethro Tull, second album, Stand Up. Now, this is not a UK first press at all. I think this is the third pressing. So this album originally, and it's got the standout cardboard bit in the middle, all in beautiful condition. I believe this is the third pressing from 1970. It was originally released on Ireland, obviously, but it was on the Bullseye label. First pressings on the Bullseye label from '69. I think there were 2 pressings on the Bullseye label in '69, with slight variation in label. And then there's this one, which is the pink island with the white eye underneath. Zip it there. And this is from 1970, and I'm looking at this, and there's not a mark, hardly a mark on it. I don't think this has ever been played. There's no spindle marks at all. Beautiful thing. It's not a rare album by any means at all. But it's a very good album, and this is a very good sounding album. Like I say, I believe this is his second album, Jethro Tull's second album from '69. But this is the 1970. Did I say 69? Yeah, 69. Right, it starts off a new day yesterday. Jeffrey goes to Leicester Square. Bore. Back to the family. Looking to the sun. Side 2 is Nothing is Easy. Fat Man. We used to know. Reasons for Waiting for 1,000 Mothers. Yeah, really like that. Picked that up. That was about 30 quid I paid for that, which for a 1970 in beautiful condition, I don't think there's a lot of money at all. Not today. The prices that some records are going to today, it's, you know, they're still out there. They're still out there. Nice records at nice prices. All right, next. Now, this band, I sort of collect this band, but this band's first 3 albums I do collect, and I will pick up whatever pressings I can find if they're in nice enough condition. I just love these 3 records. I've got 2, I found 2 actually, to show you, but they're coming into the collection. The first one, the band we're talking about, is Deep Purple. The first one is a copy of Shades of Deep Purple. Now, this is not a first pressing, but this is the 1971 pressing. This album was first released in '68. Yeah, '68. And it was released on yellow and black Parlophone. There were, I believe, 2 pressings on the yellow and black Parlophone. They then changed to a 1-box EMI. And then this 71 pressing, which makes it the 4th repress. I'll get to that in a moment, why I say repress and not reissue. Is on the 2-box EMI. Yeah. Now, if you're familiar with Beatles records and how the matrix numbers go on Beatles records, these are pressed by Parlophone the same. You'll understand that like it ends in -1-1 is going to be like your first pressing, blah blah, after the original pressing. Well, I know this, the very first pressing of this on yellow and black Parlophone, the second yellow black Parlophone, the single box EMI, and this one from '71, which is the 2-box EMI. They all carry the exact same cover, so this is exactly identical as the first press cover. Nice flip back, yeah. But they also carry -1-1 matrices, yeah. So these are all pressed off the original pressing, the original press, or the metal work at least. So they're classed as represses, not as reissues. I don't know the history of this album much after that. I do know these 2-box EMIs from '71 are not expensive. You know, you haven't got to pay a lot of money for one of these at all. And this is in pristine condition, and I still didn't pay a lot of money, you know. But if you find one of the Parlophone yellow and black labels, they command a high price today, well into the hundreds, can be for a new mint copy, right in the hundreds. So, but these don't sound to my ear any different to the very first original. And the Parlophone yellow and black label ones, this album originally didn't sell very well at all. None of these albums sold, the first 3 albums sold particularly well at all. They were probably bigger in America at that particular point. And I think it all changed when In Rock come out. But track-wise, for those that don't know this album at all, side 1, And the Address, Hush, One More Rainy Day, Prelude, Happiness, and I'm So Glad. Side 2, Mandrake Root, Help, Love Help Me, and Hey Joe. And this is a great album. I always think debut albums, I mean, I've got a soft spot for the 3 Mark 1 albums. These Mark 1 albums, and they're just fantastic. Late 60s, sort of, I don't know, they're their own sound, but it's really good. Right, so I've got that one. That's a lovely condition as well. Plays really well, sounds spot on. I picked up another Mark 1 Deep Purple album. This I bought on the market, right? The market stall I go to. There's quite a lot of good records. This is, I'll just show it and we'll talk about Deep Purple's 3rd album from '69. Gatefold. It's all looking pretty normal so far. Yeah. So I just bought this as a reissue. Which, you know, you look at the cover and stuff, you think, yeah, reissue. It's on Harvest. It's in lovely condition as well. So it's on Harvest. Okay. But when I was looking at the label, I thought, there's nothing on this label that's saying where this is made, whether it's UK or Germany. There's nothing. Across the top, that's just, you know, your normal, the Gramophone Company Limited, all rights of the manufacturer, owner of the record work reserved, you know, all this public performance, broadcasting copy, this record prohibited. That's all. That's all. It carries SHVL 759, but that's it. That's it. The matrix is SHVL 759A and B. Yeah. Anyway, I bought it because it wasn't a lot of money, you know. So I thought, I'm going to try and find out what pressing this is, and there's nothing on here. You've just got SHVL 759 stereo. You've got the EMI Harvest there, Deep Purple there. When I open here, there's still no information. There's information, obviously cover painted by Hieronymus Bosch, all of this. Anyway, and Sync P 1969. When I looked over here, you can see this part here. You're probably not going to make it out on there, but this bit here, EMI, blah, blah, blah. You know, and then I look across here and it says EMI Records, SEA-PTE Limited. I'm thinking, that don't really ring a bell. And next down is EMI.HK Limited. Right, okay. So I double check what I think it is. This is a very rare pressing. Discogs don't give a date for this pressing. From what I could see, it's never been sold on Discogs. There's one for sale for about 40 quid in Hong Kong. So this is a Hong Kong pressing of Deep Purple's 3rd album. And quite a rare thing, I believe. Rare doesn't mean it's worth a lot of money. I've got 2 or 3 copies of this album, and this doesn't sound any different to anything that I have. I suspect this to be early 70s, but I don't know. If anyone knows anything about this pressing in the comments, please let me know, because I would be more than pleased to find out a little bit more about it, because Discogs don't really say anything much about it. But really pleased to have it. Yeah, really pleased. And that's in nice condition. Plays really, really well. It's a great album. Right, next. This is a reissue. I'm new to this artist. I've got a couple of albums, 2 or 3 albums of his, but this one I picked up is by far the best I've ever heard from him. I've only heard 1 or 2, so. But that's Folk Jokopus by Roy Harper. This is a reissue from 75. I believe this was released 68 or 69. 69, yeah. That's a reissue on Sunset Records in nice condition. It was really cheap. I'm glad I picked this up because it's a great album. Track wise, I'm going to have to read them off the record because they're not on the cover. Side 1, Sergeant Sunshine, She's the One, In the Time of Water, Composer of Life, One for All. Side 2, Exercise and Some Control, McGowan's Blues, and Manana. Great album, love it, really, really like it. I only played it a couple of times so far since I've had it, but so far the go-to Roy Harper album when I want to listen to it at the moment. I found one last month and that was really, really good, but I do think this is probably a bit better. Just my opinion, but I've not listened to it much, so that may well change. But really pleased to have found it. Don't know why I neglected listening to him for so long. Right, next is, I'm classing this as a scarce record here in the UK. I don't think it is in America, but for us to find one here, I think it's quite scarce. This was not expensive at all in any way, shape or form. I only paid 15 quid for this. Some people are probably going to say, well, that's too much anyway. But this is a lovely, lovely album. This is an original first US press from 1968 of Songs of Leonard Cohen. And it's his first album, I believe. Well, his first album of songs. I think he had couple of albums of poetry before this. This is from 1968. It's come and it's an original with its original inner. If you can see that there, you would have filled that out with your name and address, sent it off with $2 or $1.50, whatever. And for one of these posters, you pick a poster that you wanted. But this has not been used, not been cut out. And like I say, it's the original US pressing, so it comes on the original Columbia 2i stereo 360 stereo sound label. Beautiful. And this is in nice condition. Yeah, it's an album I believe it's probably still in print even today. I don't think this ever went out of print, so this is not a hard record to find. But to find a nice original US first pressing here in the UK. And I've done that a few times living here in Suffolk, and I have a theory as to why there's a lot of US pressings that we come across, that I come across here in Suffolk, so I do most of my record hunting here in Suffolk. And that is, we have fewer now, but a lot of American US bases. We had Bent Waters, Woodbridge, they're gone now, but there's still Milden Hall, blah, 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 all near to Bury St Edmunds, right? When they came over, they used to bring record collections with them, all sorts, because they bring it over for free. But once they'd finished their time here and had to go back, they had to pay to ship stuff back. And a lot of the time, the Americans didn't they sold their collections that they brought over. And I'm sure that's how a lot of American press albums have ended up there. Because over the last 3 or 4 years, I've found quite a few. Over 15 years, I've found a lot. And people have said to me before, how do you find so many US pressings? And I honestly think it's that. But I could be wrong. If you've got anything to say about it, comments. Because we do in Suffolk find quite a few US pressings of records. Anyway, it's Leonard Cohen. We all know the record, so. Next is a modern reissue. This record has been on my list for a long time, but originals of this are a lot of money, and rightly so. There were not many, I don't think. It was pressed in that great volume, and he's well revered today, well revered, and that's Nick Drake, and that's the album Pink Moon. Still looking for a nice copy of this, but it's probably way out of my price range now. So I plumbed for one reissue. It's on Island, 180 gram vinyl. They have replicated the original sleeve, which is a nice touch. So this is obviously, it's a new record. I've not had it long. Dead flat. With a lot of, sometimes with new vinyl, there are problems, but nothing with this. Dead flat. Plays perfectly quiet. I don't buy many modern reissues at all now, but this is an instance where I will, where a record I know is rare, way out of my price range, and it's something I want. I don't see the problem in having a modern reissue at all. I'm not against modern reissues. Sound-wise, it sounds really nice. Can't compare it because I've never heard an original. Not on my system anyway. So, yeah, this was really released in 1972. So, yeah, it's Nick Drake. Beautiful record. A lot of these records are beautiful listening records. Like this one. This is something you don't see. I don't see it. I hadn't seen it before. I think I'd seen someone show it on. They'd found a copy in a charity shop. I can't think who it was. Who shoe it? But that was the first time I saw this album. It's probably a couple of years ago. I found this a few months ago now. That's a UK first pressing of Virtuoso by Joe Pass. Obviously, this is a jazz record, but this is this is solo guitar, so it's just Joe Pass on the guitar. But he was a jazz guitarist. So first pressing on Pablo Records in nice condition. Yeah, and this is a beautiful. If you like, guitar picking, you're going to love this. It is fantastic. How hard it is to find, I don't know. It's not an expensive album at all. I paid about £10 for this. You look on Discogs, it's about right for what what they are, £10-15. You should be able to find a copy of this. And if you like the guitar picking, then certainly look for this. That's Joe Pass guitar, Virtuoso solo guitar. Great album. Really worth looking for. It's a beautiful listen. All right, we're getting there, I think. Next. This, I have a love-hate relationship with this artist. I don't like most of his material. There's one album I think I have of his, which when you see who it is, everybody knows that album. And that's a good album. But I don't know what it was. He was massive, late 70s here in the UK, mid to late 70s. He was huge. Obviously, he's an American artist. And that is Bob Seger. Now, this album, just show it, it's called Smoke and OPS. This is from 1972. This is a reissue. I've been listening to this. I discovered this album quite a few years ago now on YouTube. There are videos of tracks on here on YouTube. They come out on Capitol. The other say this is a reissue on the Purple Capitol label in beautiful, beautiful condition. This is a great album. And I'm saying that about a Bob Seger album, but this is a great album. Like I say, this was released in 72 it wasn't released on Capitol, I know that. It was released on Palladium Records originally. Like I said, I discovered this on YouTube. We listened to it for years on YouTube, bits and pieces of it. But when I looked, you can't stream this. You couldn't stream this. Like a lot of Bob Seger stuff, you cannot stream. Like the other album everyone has, Stranger in Town. I think that's a great album. But a lot of his other stuff, when he got to like 1980 and stuff, I just don't like it. But this is earlier. This is in the same vein as Stranger in Town as such, but it is grittier. It is, it's much better, and it contains a version on here of If I Were a Carpenter. It's just brilliant. So tracks on here, side one, you have Bo Diddley, Love the One You're With, If I Were a Carpenter, and Hummingbird. Side two starts off with Let It Rock, Turn on Your Love Light, Jesse James, Someday, and Heavy Music. This is a good rock album, from Bob Seger. I'm not sure if this was before he was famous or not, really famous or not. I think this is possibly his third album, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's a cracking album, absolutely cracking album. How rare it is, I don't know. Again, not expensive. I paid £10 for this. This is a reissue, I would say, from 78 to 1980, that sort of era, but I'm not 100% sure. It's in lovely condition. When I saw it, I thought, that's the album I've been listening to on YouTube for years. So, got it. It's not the best sounding album. Production levels are lower on here than on normal, like on his other albums, later albums, more famous albums. But there's something about this album. It's an amazing, I think it's an amazing Bob Seger album. And there are, in my book, I don't like Bob Seger that much, but this album, definitely. Right. So that's it for now. That's all done. So I want to take a minute to thank everybody who tunes into the channel. Comments are always welcome. I try to answer them all. And thanks everyone for subscribing. And the channel's that's really good. That's really good. So until the next time, stay good, everyone.